Hi, it's Steve Grizzetti again, co-founder of MoviePix.com and author of the MoviePix.com Guide to Premiere Elements, and here we are in part 5 of our 8-part series, Basic Training with Premiere Elements. Video effects and audio effects are a lot of fun to play with. You don't want to overuse them, you don't want to burden your audience with too many for no reason, but they are still kind of fun to play with, and Premiere Elements comes with a huge library of them. If you just go over here to the FX button, click on that, and you can see there are a number of them. Now, as with transitions, there is both a video library and an audio library of effects. And there are a number of categories you can either jump to by clicking on this button at the top of the panel, or by using these left and right arrows to go from category to category. Or you can click on this little magnifying glass in the upper right-hand corner, and you can type in the effect that you want to add, and it will search for it in real time. So if I type crop, for instance, there it is, there's the crop effect. So let's clear that out by clicking on the X. We're going to grab the old film effect, kind of a fun effect, drag it onto this clip on my timeline. And you can see old film makes it look like an old beat up movie, damaged, got a sepia tone to it. Once you've added your effect, the Applied Effects panel opens up, and here's where you can customize your effect. By the way, if that panel is ever closed, all you need to do is select the clip on your timeline and click on the FX button with a pencil here on the toolbar. There it is. Now we can increase the damage. We can change it to faded color, black and white, or keep the sepia tone. We can add more jitter and jump, or we can set up grainy, splotchy, crackly damage to it. To disable an effect temporarily, in other words, to leave it applied to the clip, but to see what your clip looks like without it, all you need to do is click on the little eyeball. That temporarily disables it. To remove the effect completely, click on the trash can. Now, some of the special effects can be pretty high level and kind of difficult to control. There's one in here called, for instance, Cartooner Plus. It's one of the effects from the New Blue collection. Drag it onto your clip, and it makes your clip kind of look like a drawing, or in this case, sort of a watercolor painting. Now, there are a number of ways to customize and control this effect, but they're pretty complicated for me. Instead, always look for presets. That's what these are right here. It's a whole library of presets, and with them, for instance, you can select Pencil Test, and now suddenly your video looks like it was drawn with a pencil. You can select Illustrations. Now it looks like it's an illustration. Light Cartoon, and now it's a cartoon. So these can make it much simpler to customize your effects. You can double up effects, of course. You can have any number of effects added to a single clip at any time. Let's go ahead and remove that effect. In addition to the regular kind of video effects, you can go up here with a clip selected on your timeline. Otherwise, you won't see anything. You can go up here to the very top of the toolbar and select Adjustments. Now, adjustments are often used for fixing your clips. In other words, correcting color or fixing the lighting. But these are really cool adjustment tools. You can, for instance, select temperature and tint, and you can correct, say, a color temperature problem. Say a video was shot and it's a little too orange, or a video shot and it's a little too blue. And you can see adjustments to the temperature can be made simply by clicking on this quick preview control panel. The center square represents no effect, and then these other squares represent various aspects of temperature control. So you can control temperature, lighting. You can even do shake reduction, and I show you in a separate tutorial how to use shake reduction. So there are a lot of cool ways to add effects to your video as well as your audio. Well worth digging into. Now, the adjustments you make to your effects can be made overall to an entire clip, or they can be varied a little using something called keyframing. And in our next session, we're going to look at how to use keyframing, the basics of keyframing, which can be used to create some amazing animated effects here in Premiere Elements. That's coming up in part 6.